Without seeing it directly, people could still sense the change. The nights felt heavier, as if a silent movement was drawing closer. Cameras near the fence continuously recorded dark shapes appearing and disappearing. By morning, damp soil was covered with fresh tracks. The herd of wild boars no longer moved individually but in groups, keeping even distance, as if long familiar with the terrain. The unease was not about numbers, but about how the boundary between forest and residential area no longer seemed clear. The first instinct is always to drive them away immediately. But rush measures only complicate the situation. When pressured, the herd may split into smaller groups and change routes, making tracking harder. Instead of reacting on impulse, the area was reorganized into multiple observation layers. Times of appearance, directions of approach, and movement rhythms were carefully recorded. Change did not begin with loud noise, but with quiet preparation. At the forest edge, where trails intersected, guiding devices were placed without disturbing the surrounding environment. When a light activation occurred at one point, the herd slowed briefly. The leading group reduced speed, while those behind adjusted spacing. That short hesitation revealed the main trajectory of the entire herd. Without direct intervention, the system subtly began influencing their rhythm. After leaving the forest edge, the herd entered an open, flat area with few obstacles. This was a place where they typically paused to feed before moving deeper. Bait had been placed at the center days earlier, long enough to become familiar. Individuals stepped into the open space with moderate caution, heads lowered, formation gradually narrowing around the feeding point. The camera confirmed the last animal had crossed the boundary. A few seconds of silence passed. Then the remote mechanism activated. The gate dropped simultaneously, enclosing the open area. No panic, no scattering, only precise movement at the right moment. If only a small portion were affected, the remaining groups could quickly adjust and return. Wild boars move in structured coordination with constant awareness. When one path is blocked but not fully secured, they test alternatives in following nights. Synchronized control prevents the cycle from restarting and reestablishes clear distance between forest and residential space. No device alone can handle the entire situation. Guiding points at the forest edge expose movement corridors. Distributed holding positions in lower areas reduce localized pressure. The open space becomes the final concentration point. When each component operates in sequence, they form a closed control chain. Instead of forcing, the system gradually narrows the herd's choices without sudden disruption. Once stability returns, structures are dismantled and inspected before storage. Camera data continues to be analyzed to detect any new movement patterns. If another hotspot appears, the system can be quickly reinstalled. Management, therefore, does not end with one peak night, but continues as a flexible monitoring network. When the first light of morning appears, no new tracks mark the ground. The fence remains intact and straight. The camera screen shows familiar stillness. No movement along the forest edge. Daily rhythm resumes in restored normalcy.
When wild hogs begin appearing in residential areas, it is no longer an unusual incident. Windows are smashed, furniture is overturned in broad daylight, and the familiar sense of safety residents once relied on disappears almost immediately. This is a clear warning that the boundary between human space and the wild is gradually fading. Residents try to drive them away, but for hog sounders that have already become accustomed to people, these measures do not address the root of the problem. Without early, systematic intervention, they can pose unpredictable risks to everyday life. Today, we found wild hog tracks spread densely across the area, with estimates suggesting that hundreds of animals move through here each night. The fresh footprints show that the sounder passed through not long ago and is following a familiar route. For that reason, we decided to set up a large oval-shaped trap to guide the entire group inside and control their numbers effectively. The first step was driving the support posts into the ground. Each post had to be perfectly aligned, set deep enough, and strong enough to withstand heavy impact when the hogs charged in. The surrounding soil was compacted tightly to prevent looseness, because a single weak point could cause the entire system to fail. Most importantly, the posts had to be positioned on the outside of the fence so that when hogs hit the structure, the force would be transferred to the posts rather than the mesh. All metal panels were rounded to form a closed loop. This not only increases the durability of the trap, but also reduces the chance that hogs can find a hard leverage point to ram with force. Sharp corners and rigid angles are where damage and injuries are most likely to occur. After assembling the panels and shaping the trap, we secured the panels firmly to nearby trees. Steel wire was also used to reinforce the entire system. When tying the wire, all twists were placed on the outside of the trap, leaving only smooth wire on the inside. This prevents hogs from striking the twisted joints directly when they collide with the structure. The funnel opening is the key detail that determines whether the sounder will enter. At the point where it aligns with the adjacent panel, the width is kept at around 24 inches, which is equivalent to the shoulder width of an adult human and also approximately the shoulder width of a wild hog. The gravity door was checked one final time. Its mechanism is simple. Once a hog steps inside, the door automatically drops behind it. We spread bait and covered the trap with palm leaves to reduce light and create a sense of shelter and security for the sounder.
It's like an old...
For sounders that have repeatedly entered residential areas, remotely activated trap systems have proven especially effective. Remote monitoring allows us to observe and intervene at the right moment, waiting until the entire group has entered the safe zone before triggering the trap. When we returned to inspect the trap, we found that a sounder of wild hogs had been captured. This confirmed that the system worked as planned. However, the process also revealed areas that needed improvement. Some hogs attempted to climb the edge of the trap, indicating that additional reinforcement was necessary. Every time a trap is set, there is something to learn. What was not perfect this time becomes experience for the next. After the control program was implemented in a systematic way, field reports showed a clear reduction in damage. Proper management does not eliminate risk entirely, but it keeps it within controllable limits, ensuring community safety and long-term balance.
Come on.
If you find this approach useful, feel free to leave a comment and share your perspective. And don't forget to follow the channel for more real-world wildlife management stories.